So what do you think is the worst? I mean, to me, back in, was it 89 with the Central Park Five?
Yeah.
That was, to me, like the most egregious thing, because it just seems so like, and then of course the Obama birth certificate, which...
You mean with Donald Trump?
With Trump.
What's the most egregious?
Yeah, I mean, he sued me, Trump did.
For the orangutan thing.
Yes, because I was making fun of that, because that was very racist. But also, like, he seemed to be just, I mean, there was something very animating about his, like, laser-focused drive about the Central Park Five thing. That seemed to, you could feel the racism in there.
What was the payoff? Why was he there? He wasn't running for office.
It was, right.
Yeah.
It just seemed like it just, there's something in him. And of course, we know his father was a virulent racist.
Yeah.
You know, and he grew up in a different time, and he's almost 80. And yes, I understand that element to it. But, you know, to ascribe to all the people who voted for him, which is a majority of the country.
I didn't say all the people.
Yeah, I understand.
It's not a majority. It's plurality.
Well, whatever it is, he won.
Yeah.
It's at least half the country. I mean, to ascribe his worst traits to all of them.
I don't think it's half the country, but go on.
Well,
so
what
is
his worst traits
to whatever?
How do you win an election?
Well,
and the popular
first it's
vote.
the electorate. Not everybody votes, and I don't think I think most of the people in America don't vote, and I don't think it's half the country. So what I'm saying is, I don't think half the country is racist, and I don't think all of MAGA is racist. But I do think that there's a huge element in the MAGA party that is racist, whether they are conscious of it or not. Some of them are not, and if they are not, they have had to overlook a lot of racism and a lot of bigotry. And if you do that and you say, I'm okay with this, I think that makes you worse than someone who just says, hey, I'm a racist, and they tell you.
But some of it is just a backlash to what they think was going too far, like all these corporations now that have dropped DEI. Now, in the government, they did it because he ordered...
Backlash for what?
For too much DEI.
I don't think those people understand what DEI is. DEI is not the hiring of black people who are not qualified or
it can
people
be.
Who are... No. That's not what it's about.
It can have that result.
But anything can be. Yes, of course it could have that result, but there's no evidence that it does have that result. And
I don't know about that.
Okay, so then what is your evidence? There's no evidence that there is that result. If you can show me the evidence, then okay. Then I will agree with you.
Well, I'm not going to name any names.
Okay, but diversity, equity, inclusion, first of all, is not. Maybe they're talking about affirmative action, which is a whole different thing, which is about making sure you hired, a certain number of people that are this, that, and that. But diversity, equity, and inclusion is about making sure that the pool of candidates is larger. So if you are fishing, rather than fishing in a swimming pool, maybe you're in a pond. Rather than fishing in a pond, you're in a lake, or maybe in a lake instead of a river, or in a river and you're in the ocean. So you're just trying to find different people, and you're trying to increase the number of options of qualified people that you can hire. It's not about hiring people who are not qualified and who are just black. The biggest recipient of DEI is white women, and also veterans, because of veterans, and also people who are people. It's just about making sure that disabled people have a ramp somewhere at work so that they get to work.
Understood,
and they can,
but
whatever.
Equity is the word, not equality. That it was a change that people noticed. Equality was everybody gets an equal shot. Equity is like, no, it's basically quotas. Equity is it's
quotas. I don't think that America's never been about everybody getting an equal shot.
No, it certainly hasn't been. No one's contesting that.
No.
But that's what the idea, the old school liberal idea was, we need to strive for equality. That changed to equity. This is what some people are against, and reasonable people can disagree on it without being racist. Having said that, there are of course racists in this country. There always will be, just like there will always be criminals.
I agree, but I think the people who are disagreeing about it, they need to understand exactly what it is. I think people who disagree may not understand what it is. Now, I have an issue with DEI because I think when you make it a religion, it's not, then you end up with the Al Frankens of the world, of people who get canceled and they use the DEI stuff to get rid of people. But I think you have to understand what the real definition is, and that people have sort of co-opted it. And I think if you believe, as in the definition that the MAGA Trump administration, that they're saying what DEI is, that is a racist definition of diversity, equity, and inclusion.
What is it?
They're saying that this is because they're hiring people, women, people of color, minorities who are not qualified. And that's not what is happening.